Did you know that just changing how you think about aging could literally add 7.5 years to your life? Yes, this is even more powerful than lowering your cholesterol or your blood pressure or even maintaining a healthy weight. And those things are super important too. However, this is truly impactful. In fact, if you could bottle this up into a pharmaceutical medication and take it, everyone would want to be on it. And it's really just all about changing your mindset. I'm Dr. Heather Modet, and I spent 25 years as an integrative and functional medicine physician. And I'm starting over in midlife. And this channel is where I'm going to be sharing all the tools and the science and the insights that I've learned from my experience taking care of complex medical patients, and also things that I've used myself to help recover from burnout and live a more joyful, empowered, and healthy life. So today we're going to be talking about how your thoughts and the way that you think about aging really impact you. And I'm going to give you 7 tips to change those negative thoughts of aging so that you can add another 7.5 years to your life. Dr. Rebecca Levy of Yale found that people who had a positive mindset about aging lived literally 7.5 years longer than people who had a negative one. And this held up regardless of their socioeconomic status or even their health status. And later she found out that people who had a positive mindset also had a lower chance of developing Alzheimer's disease regardless of their genetic factors. So here's the thing, ageism is everywhere. Especially in the West, for example, in the United States, we have a culture of ageism. I mean, being young and youthful is literally revered. But if you go to other countries, especially in places like Japan, people who are older are actually the ones who are revered. They are thought to be sages and wise, and they get a lot more respect. So, what can we do about this? I mean, how many times have you heard the things like, he or she's over the hill, or I'm too old for that, or I'm having a senior moment? A lot of these things might seem like they're not very serious, right? Sort of casual ways of, self-deprecation. But literally, if you keep hearing those messages, or if you keep saying them internally, you are rewiring your brain. Literally, that inner voice becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it makes us shrink. So how do you flip the script? There are about 7 things that I know that you can do to actually make yourself more age positive. And I've had to work on this myself. So these are the things that have helped me. Number 1 is anytime you hear something ageist from someone else, challenge them on it. And at the same time, when you start having, negative thoughts about aging, or you hear something come out of your mouth like, oh, I'm just too old for this. Oh, or like, yeah, I'm just over the hill, or, this just comes with the aging process and things like that. Stop yourself and also challenge yourself. Where did that come from? Why did I learn to believe that? Is that really true? 2 is to try new experiences. We have a tendency to sort of stick to what we know as we get older. And really, midlife and older is the time that a lot of people should really open themselves up to new opportunities, because it helps so much with establishing new friendships and also keeping our brains sharp. So, for example, say you're 60 years old and you think you might want to try a hip hop class, but you're concerned because you're like, hey, I'm a little stiff, and I've never thought that I'm that flexible, and I'm thinking that maybe people are going to make fun of me because I'm going to be the oldest one there. You know what? Just do it, because literally the only thing that is holding you back are the thoughts. And maybe if you go to the hip hop class, you're going to find out that it is so much fun, that it makes you more flexible, that it gives you great joy, and maybe you actually meet some new friends. Number 3 is you want to surround yourself with good, positive role models. And this may be tough, because one of the things that keeps us a little stuck is the people that we tend to spend a lot of time with, because they are going to sort of keep you in a rut. And we know this when it comes to health behaviors for sure. If you hang out with people who smoke or drink a lot, or aren't very active, or things like that, you're going to have a tendency to have those behaviors too. And so if all your friends are talking like they've got one foot in the grave, maybe it's time to branch out and find some new people. Also, you can follow people to inspire you. And this is something I do. I do this on social media. Whenever I read something, I internalize that. So if someone's, 99 years old and participating in a marathon, or it could just be something about someone starting a business, when they're 75, or just doing something that would be sort of like uncharacteristic for someone of that age. So that really tends to start changing our mindset about aging in a really positive way. Number 5 is to create an age belief journal. Now, this doesn't have to take a lot of time. You can just carry around a tiny little notebook, or you can record voice notes in your phone. Anytime that you start to have a thought about what you're incapable of doing or what you shouldn't be doing because you're too old, whatever, write that down or make a note of it, and then counter that belief, because that's going to actually open up your eyes to how much you're thinking this way, but it's also going to help you try and reverse those things. Number 4 is to actually seek out intergenerational friendships. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to become best friends with the 15-year-old down the street, but it does mean that you have to open your mind up to maybe interacting and talking and conversing, and yes, maybe becoming friends with someone who is not your age. And intergenerational friendships have been found to be so helpful, not only for the younger person, but also for the older person, because it opens up our mindset and it really makes us younger. Number 7 is focus on having a growth mindset and being flexible. Surely physical things happen to us and change us as we get older, but we need to stop focusing on what we're physically capable of doing and what we look like on the outside. We have so much wisdom in our years, and we are of tremendous value. So if there's things that you can't do anymore, well, then don't do them. There's a bajillion other things that you can do, whether it's hobbies, whether it's learning something new, and becoming value to people around you, especially people who are younger and can really learn from you. Here's the truth. Aging is not the enemy, but ageism is. So, midlife and beyond can be one of the most powerful chapters in your life if you believe it can be. So, if this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Let's challenge the way that we think about aging so that we can all thrive together.